2. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Oh, shoot, sorry.
You shut the hell up.
I forgot there's no one in here.
You sure?
What? There's no one's in here. We don't need to be quiet. No one's here.
Hey!
All right.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So we gotta do the entire episode whispering.
That would be awful.
ASMR episode.
Oh God, no.
This Discord doesn't even support stereo audio, so it wouldn't work, right?
No, I don't think so.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dojocast episode 46. Oh my goodness, we're getting up there, dude.
We're so
What are
close
we gonna
to
do
the
when we get to
episode.
50? That's crazy.
Oh, I know what we're gonna do. I got plans.
Special episode for episode 50. Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah.
But today we got Pepper in the house. A living fossil, I would say, within our community. He's always been here. Yeah, who is Pepper, anyways?
Dummy couch.
No one knows nowadays, but we know.
Nobody knows.
So we're going to get into that. But
Well,
I think we have some announcements.
we do. So if you're over on my channel or my Twitter, you'd have seen a video. But I'm just gonna go ahead and play the video and let it speak for itself. But I was probably crunched all day today getting this done.
Ooh.
Let's do it.
For a quick, fun little thing. Hey, how you doing? Been a minute. I know I haven't been very active. I've been working on stuff in the background, but you might be interested in this. I've been working on 3 really helpful resources for the community on the Dojo website. 2 that you might already be aware of from the site's launch is the collab guide that gives you a lot of information from yours truly on everything that you could ever know about a collaboration. And I will be updating it as well, so if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask. There's also a sound collection with roughly 20,000 sounds, not for commercial use though, but the brand new one is the Mass Drop. I reached out to a lot of animators in my direct contacts and asked if they wanted to just give me any animation files for me to make public, and that's essentially what
Oh, yeah,
this
he
is.
gave you a lot.
It is over
That was a good
23 gigabytes of animation files
the
ranging
hell
from
is
Adobe Animate, from Flash 8, CS6, to even Krita, Blender, Toon Boom. It has a lot to offer, so if you are really wanting to study a lot of these animators' animations, then hey, this is probably a pretty good resource for you. I even put a lot of my own stuff in there. It should go without saying, but don't trace anything. It's got to be the stupid. It's going to be so easy to prove you wrong. Anyway, hope this helps and have fun with it.
Yeah, I'm tracing everything.
It's going to happen.
Someone already commented that on the video.
All right, that's the first one.
That's
So yeah,
cute.
in the description you can find the link to the Dojo blog, the Mass Drop. I don't know how many. I can't give you a number on how many files there are, but there's a lot. There are plenty for you to sift through. So have fun with that.
That's crazy, because I've always wanted FLAs from my heroes when I was a kid, and we never got that unless we kind of dug deep
Yeah.
to the bowels of our community. But now we everything's
Now it's
out
so
there.
easy.
You can download just raw project files from pretty much everyone in our community.
Yeah, or at least a lot
Beautiful.
of major figures, some of my close friends, and I fully intend to continue adding to it. So there will be occasional updates where I'll add like a crap ton of files, and I'll make little announcements for whenever it is updated. So keep an eye out for it, and if any of my friends out there want to send me more files, I'm more than happy to add it.
The other neat
Very
thing
cool.
about FLAs is you get the raw sound data. You used to have to like decompile the you only
Yeah.
get like the MP3 encoded, and it's not as good.
Yeah. It was a thing. I think like 2 or 3 months ago now. I was talking to Loonsar, and he was going through all these files that he had saved, and he was pulling up some of my files that I had no idea how he got access to. And then I just kind of thought, like, wait, what if there was like one huge like file drop that contained a massive number of files from so many members of the community? And so I just started mass messaging people to see if they were down for it, and way more people said yes than I was expecting. So thank
Oh,
you
yeah.
everyone who participated in that. But yeah, everyone who wants to get their grubby little hands on those files, feel free. Just don't trace. It's just as I said, it's so easy to prove you wrong. So just don't be dumb.
Or you can trace, but just don't post it. You know.
Yeah, you can learn stuff with tracing.
Yeah, I'm
but
okay
you
with
can
tracing
publish
for like personal practice. But the moment you start publishing it and claiming that it's your own, that's the line. But anyway, enough of a mass drop. We got another thing that came out earlier this week. Thank you, Thesifer, however you say that name, for the $10 that Hyun's OnlyFans win.
Yo, bro, we're in the library, man. Yo, chill.
He's got a question. He has to know. He has to know.
Okay. The emulator.
Down over there.
But the next thing that we have to announce is a little thing that released earlier. This has been in production for a number of years, I believe. Called Crossfire Bullet Rain. The pilot just dropped, and it is 27 minutes in length.
What?
So
We got a full-on like pilot episode.
Oh yeah, no, it's wow. Like I haven't watched it myself. I intend to watch it on one of my own streams eventually. But like, just look at this. It's so clean.
I love the desaturated color scheme.
I like the
and this
backgrounds.
Is by, yeah, the backgrounds are really nice too, and just like it's just super clean.
Like I'd play a hidden object game with these backgrounds. That looks good.
Oh,
True.
yeah.
But
This is directed by Lori Coffey, I believe is how you pronounce it.
Yep, and then wait, wasn't this also produced by Rhinocore, or am I mistaken? Rhinocore Studio.
I'm not 100% sure. Let's see the credit them in the description. No, just
I believe so, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll have this look at the description.
Yeah, go. Shoot it a view, check it out, watch it. It's I'm sure it's really good, but it's been in production for so long. It's almost half an hour, so they really killed it.
Very impressive.
I
Good
can't
job.
wait to see it myself. But all right, let's get into talking about the man eating the couch.
Oh no.
I know him.
Hello.
Hello.
The Pepper.
Hi.
How's it going?
Pepper, dude.
Good. How are you?
Pepper. I'm pretty good, dude. I'm tired. I'm so tired. I'm glad you're here because Pepper has the right energy to bring anyone alive. See?
Does that
Told
help?
you. I told you. So for those who don't know about Pepper, how about you tell us a little about yourself and when you got started in animation?
Oh, that's 2001 probably. I started with like a software that turned like you draw each frame in Paint and then you put it in and it gives you a GIF or a GIF or whatever people want to call it.
Jive, that's a new one.
I don't know. GIF, whiff. I don't know what people have their own words for it.
How old were you when you started?
Oh, 10, 11, something.
Of course you were. That's the target, dude. Between 10 and 12 years old is where you get your animation superpowers, typically.
You
Then
started
pivot. Sorry.
You started animating in the same year I was born.
Yeah.
These goddamn kids, man.
You're lucky I didn't eat your fetus.
Oh, God.
I don't know why I said that. Yeah, then I moved on to Pivot. Then Flash MX was the first one where I really started working with sounds. I think the first thing that really got me into working with sound was Madness Interactive. There's always this thing where there was like a Mr. Sound file or something with Madness Interactive that like everyone was like, no, you don't need it to mod. You just add your own sounds. I'm like, but I want the sounds from the game. So that's
like it was a madness animation.
There's a Madness game called Madness Interactive back in like 2004.
Oh, yeah, Madness was huge back then.
That was the beginning of Madness. Well, I guess Madness was established at 2000 at that point, right?
Yeah.
And
This came out between like the third or fourth Madness Combat things, I think, or maybe it was after the second.
I've never heard.
But yeah, it's kind of like kind of reminds me of what's that game called? Metal Slug, almost.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
True. They got the same like floaty hands.
Yeah. No, but particularly the game has like a little bit of the Metal Slug kind of arcadey feel to it.
Oh yeah. The side-scrolling shooter.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was they put out the source, like just like, you know, people we're talking about like people putting out like their FLAs, like to mod this, they gave out the FLA file or like the source code basically.
Oh.
Okay.
Back on like Crinkle's site, like long ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, there were tons of mods, and I got into modding that a little bit. And then I got into Flash animation, and I was on a site called like Flash Industries, and one called like Sheepy26, which was by someone on Newgrounds called Magma26. I think they got a wrist injury though. They got an RSI, and they haven't been active for 2 decades probably.
Oh my god.
Flash Industries takes me back though. That was that. I remember their website being really sleek. It was really like
Yeah.
had like a lot of whites and pastel, like soft colors.
Yep.
Dang. I don't even remember that. That was
And
like
before
before
you.
my time.
Yeah, it was before you.
And then the
That's
sound
great.
pack sharing really started with shift limits, which they had a few random sound packs I joined just to get, and I said, "Hey, I'm here for the sound packs," and they're like, "Yeah, we don't like it when people say that, but we'll see how long you last."
Oh my god! Wait,
That was how
That's
Hyun got there
crazy.
too.
that's how I got there. But then when I first got there, they were your sounds that I was.
Yeah.
at.
You were there, yeah.
Yeah, I joined in like 2006, 07, but by like 08, it was mostly my packs up there then.
Yeah.
So how did that transition? I mean, so you joined because of the
yeah,
sound pack, but who
yeah,
was?
I think Kentos had put some stuff up from like a Sony 1001 library sound thing, you know,
Wow.
not stuff you really shouldn't be sharing, but who cares?
I mean, back then it was the Wild West. You know, there's 0 copyrights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are ripping sounds
algorithms.
left and right from
No
Me.
bot moderation on major websites.
Me taking sounds out of video games for 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Amen.
So, dude, another question we always tend to ask, because usually people end up having like what we call like a trigger animation that got you to step into attempting to animate. Did you have or remember an animation where you saw it online, you're like, okay, I need to figure out how they did this?
Oh, it would have been something in Pivot back then, or I don't know, maybe like even like like the DS. No, that was way later. That whole flip note stuff was way later. I'm trying to remember, but I think the only thing I can think of was one of the first things I did was I reanimated a scene from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. The when they throw the grenade at the rabbit. I animated it not at double framed 12 FPS, so it was like 6 FPS.
Holy, yeah.
And I gave it to my dad for his birthday, like long ago, on like burned on a CD.
A
So
CD drive.
Yeah, and the audio was like recorded off, like I lugged like an iMac G3 downstairs and used its built-in microphone to record. Yeah, this scene.
Oh, this movie is such a classic.
Yeah, it
I
is.
just showed my kid a couple scenes from this earlier this week. It's so
You
weird.
gotta show him the whole movie, man.
I do. I had to
It's
explain
so
the Tiz
funny.
but a scratch to him because his teacher had a shirt on. He's like, "Why do you have a shirt? There's a Tiz but a scratch with like a bloody knife." I was like, "Oh, we have to go see this right now."
Yeah, they don't make them like this anymore, man.
No, dude.
This is peak.
They barely made this movie like this. They were like
They were
This
figuring
was-
it out.
this was done on a shoestring budget, and they were improvising a lot of stuff, if I recall correctly.
I have to say, the moment in this film where do you remember the part where the guy's running over the hill and he takes forever
Oh,
to
yeah.
get there?
Oh
He
yeah.
keeps cutting
When
back
that
to him.
happened, I laughed harder in that moment when I saw that than in my entire life. I was like, "What is going on?" And then he just instantly cuts to him stabbing them after like the 7th shot of them running over the hill,
Yeah.
this thing hella far away. Oh my god, too good.
Sorry,
That's awesome.
we had a message in chat. Beyond Rage said, "I thought Pepper's voice was gun sounds this whole time."
Sorry. No, I do like gun sounds. They're interesting and complex. You know, you pin drop before and then slide snapping back afterwards. It's an interesting thing to do.
Just a walking sound pack. That's the thing too. When I first figured out about like sounds by Pepper and like that kind of thing, I didn't even know that was a person because I was so confused. I just thought it was a sound pack.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
Sounds by Pepper, man. I saw that everywhere.
I didn't realize Pepper was a real
miles.
person until like years later. Like years later. Like way down the road. I was like,
animators.
Yeah.
And the secret is, I just did the same thing that Jeff Kentos did. I found on like some weird blog spot, I found a big bundle of sound effects that I probably shouldn't have shared, but
Nah. You should have.
yeah.
Good. But yeah, like I guess what? So it was Kentos or Jeff that kind of inspired you into kind of sharing sounds and stuff like that before.
Yeah, I mean, I was already looking for them, and then they were, you know, Shift Limits let me in. I became a part of the community. So I found some good stuff, and I was like, oh, here you go.
And I don't
They're
think,
like, oh, this is good stuff. We'll put it up on the sound downloads page.
yeah, and no one else was really doing that, I think, besides you at that point, right?
There were like obscure forums for like Mugen fighters and stuff where people would share like resource packs for like indie modding game stuff and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was stuff specifically targeting the community, like a single person doing multiple packs. There's a lot of things where like there's like a Zayo's Zhao or however it's pronounced pack floating around that people often credit to me. I have no part in.
Honestly, yeah, I did credit you too at one point. Just for using the Dojo.
I had
And it's not mine. I don't. It's like old Hollywood Edge or Sound Ideas punches. It's not mine. I don't know where that came from. It predates me by a few years.
So funny, dude. Like, so you started off with that MS Paint animator, then you moved to Flash Industries and over to Shift Limits. Was Shift Limits really your first animation community where you stuck, or did you have one before that?
Oh, I mentioned Pivot. The main thing with Pivot was I was in the MSN Pivot groups. Microsoft Network used to have these like image forum things where like you could upload GIF, JIF, whatever files. So they'd have like so people would upload their Pivot animations there, and there were whole groups, and like people would upload like their .stks or .pvts or whatever file type it was. It would just take them. They shut that down like a decade ago, I think. But there used to be a Pivot-oriented forum, and that was the first big community I think I was a part of.
Wow, that's crazy.
But that would have been like 2002.
Were you ever in Stick Slaughter?
No, but I definitely watched animations on that site.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because you'd have been around for that. Was the biggest site, like when I was.
I also remember stickdeath.com or something.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
something like that.
Stick Death was where I got my like interest in it, was because the animations were so primitive and funny, but so it looked so obtainable. You know, it's like, oh wow, this is on the internet. And back then, it was like if it's on the internet, you're like, whoa, it's like official. This is like watching something on TV, because they had to have a website. It was published, so it just seemed more, I don't know. Still out of reach, but if it was like something this not good is on the internet, then it's like, oh, I can do this. I'm this close already.
Yeah, there were always, even back then though, there were always animations that were kind of like a cut above. Like there was like a Star Wars gangster rap.
Oh,
I remember being
that was big,
like addicted to when I was like 12 or 13.
Dude, that was like one of the first quote unquote viral videos.
Yeah.
I swear.
I have no idea what that is.
Man, you know that we got it, dark side. Man, you know that we got it, dark side.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know, how do you describe it? It's like, you know, the bad lip reading guy does like a music video. It was kind of like that, but animated. And it wasn't. I mean, today's standards it would not be good. But back then, it was like decent. Like you're like, whoa,
It was good. It
Right.
was a lot of overuse of gradients and stuff.
Oh, the whole
the
thing.
typical flat gradients, but that was very common back then. But it was just
Oh, yeah.
it was competently made, and it was decently long too. And like, I don't know if it was made by the person who made that like song parody. I don't even know
I
what
don't
the
know
credits
either,
for that
yeah.
song parody are. I've never ran into it anywhere else, but.
And it's such a weird thing because you had to like randomly happen upon these things typically because there was no social media. There was no like sharing things with one person to another was only through emailing a link, which was also a strange way to communicate because you didn't just have people's emails readily available. Especially when you're a kid, you don't even know if they have emails. I would just remember seeing like it would either be on the front page of Newgrounds or not Newgrounds, YouTube or like Albino Black Sheep.
That's the one. I was waiting to say Albino Black. That was the site where I saw the Star Wars gangs. I had like bookmarks saved on like a thumb drive I brought to school and would plug it in the library. And I even had the standalone Flash player with a bunch of the files in case I couldn't get to it or they blocked something.
That's so funny, dude.
I even had a standalone build of like Flash MX 2004 so I could work in school on Flash files.
Yeah, I had it on a thumb drive too.
I had a little Sony Vault thumbstick that was probably not worth how much I paid for it. It was like 512 megabytes, and it was probably like $70 back then.
That was huge. 512 was big, dude.
Yeah.
So your name's Pepper.
Yep.
How did you come up with Pepper for your username when you were first born online?
So back on the MSN pivot groups, very immature, struggling to think of a username for the field. I think didn't have the best oral hygiene back then, and I had eaten a pepperoni sandwich or pepperoni pizza. So I my tongue and my tooth got a chunk of that out.
Oh my
so
God.
my first username on the MSN pivot groups, I'm almost positive I remember this correctly, was found pepperoni in my teeth.
Oh my!
No
it was
way.
pepperoni this whole time. It wasn't like salt and pepper. It wasn't.
No, it was
vegetable pepper. It was pepper short for pepperoni.
Yep.
Yeah, why did you bring up images of pepperoni?
Man, I don't have much to work with right now. Okay.
No,
He's got to earn his pay somehow.
Yo, keep that. Yeah, you just scroll through the pepperonis.
Yeah. No, I'm just gonna let it auto scroll. Yeah.
Just in case you guys in chat didn't know what pepperoni looked like.
Yeah.
Listen, man,
So
I wanted
it's
to bring up
not-
something.
It's not pepper as in salt pepper. It's actually
Oh,
pepperoni.
God.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
That's
Little did you know, you're picking your name for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
Because we were just talking about this before, and we are like, "Is that a stupid question to ask Pepper?"
No,
Or you
it's.
got
I've
Pepper?
actually said this.
Good
It
one.
often comes up. Like,
That's such a good answer. I'm so happy.
yeah.
That is
Then it
really
got.
good.
I stuck with that. I think at Flash Industries they had a name change option, but like you could only do it like once a month or something, probably because they didn't want people to abuse it and like the mods to have a hard time. But I changed it from. I used found pepperoni in my teeth on Flash Industries, and I got bullied pretty hard for that. I remember. So I changed it to just Pepper, and then I left eventually to go to the Sheepy26 little like BB code forums or whatever it was.
Yeah. Wow. That's kind of mind blowing.
That's
I don't know.
so funny, dude.
Yeah, because
Oh,
I was like, should we ask where his name came from? Because I feel like it's just gonna be like a pepper shaker or something stupid. Like you just thought about the
I
fly.
think it's crazy that it wasn't what I thought to be the only two options. Being
Yeah.
salt pepper, or a pepper plant, which was, just far less likely. But I was like, well, that's crazy that it was not even one of the options.
Wait, that means our thumbnail's not even accurate anymore, dude.
It's
Well-
not, dude. It's canonically wrong.
That's okay. It's what most people think of when they hear
That's
pepper.
name.
So
Yep.
it's okay.
Dang, dude.
It works.
Oh, that's
Okay,
crazy.
so you're at shift limits. You start uploading sound packs. Do you start noticing like credits coming up with you?
Oh
saying,
yeah, and I get a
"One guy?"
little bit big for my britches for a while there. Like I kind of got like an ego trip for a bit.
You're the sound guy, dude.
Apparently, yeah. No, I've left that. Luckily, I'm not like that anymore. Wait, is my mic not working?
No, I hear you.
No, it is.
You're good.
Okay. I feel like my mouth
I know.
wasn't
I
syncing
saw
up.
that. I saw it was like you were biting the couch and talking.
It's just tasty.
Getting a little wet spot over here, man.
So you're getting known as the sound guy. And back then, like, again, we were all just starving for resources, right? So
Yeah.
when sound effects would come up, usually everyone had downloaded every bit of what was usable that we could find. And so when you're putting that out there, people were just like feverishly downloading anything that would be put up. And so you would put up some new sounds or even just reorganizing them too. Because I remember there were so many times you'd be like, it might be the same different grouping of sound effects, but then someone would make, oh, here's just a combat pack. And it's just punches and swooshes and stuff. And then,
Yeah.
so we were always just starving for those resources. Do you remember how you got your first sounds? I know you mentioned you were kind of going through just downloading from Shift Limit.
You just ran. You mean the first pack I put together, or the first ones I found online?
Both, I guess.
Oh, the first ones I found online. Well, the first ones I found, I think, were like in like games on my computer, like like Half-Life 2 and stuff.
It's like hunting into your own files.
Yeah. I found like guides online for like Source Engine and like other games. Like I downloaded games just to get the files out. Like someone had like a thing for like how to get the sounds out of Duke Nukem 3D, and like I didn't have Duke Nukem 3D, so I found how to get Duke Nukem 3D, and got the sounds out, and I never played it.
Yeah.
Dude,
Apparently, it's a good game.
Yeah. I think the entire reason why I even joined my first community was because I was looking for sound effects. Because the animations that I saw, they all had these really cool punch noises, the Zhao Zhao cloth swoosh, those two iconic, and ever since then, I literally cannot release an animation without having sound effects.
Yeah.
It's just a part of the animation at this point. So, yeah, it's really, it was a huge game-breaking moment for me when I first got my first pepper pack from Shift Limits, and I was like abusing that stuff, dude. I was just sometimes adding too much sound effects,
Oh yeah.
Where in the FLA, it's like it was just every keyframe was like a sound effect.
I mean, even Turquoise did that. He would layer multiple sounds, and that's what gave like the flash, like when you export it to SWF and it converts into like MP3. That's like why some of his punches have like that crunchy like compression to them, because he like layered like 2 or 3 files at once, 2 or 3 different punches.
Yeah, I think sometimes if you layer too much, like the sound won't even play at one point.
Oh yeah, that's basically it goes depending on, like I'm pretty sure modern Flash versions don't have this problem anymore, but it wasn't that uncommon on old software for if it goes too high above the red line, it's just no audio.
Yeah.
It just cuts out completely.
Oh man. That's awesome though. Let's go into animation, because you were mainly known as a sound person, but actually I didn't know you actually animated within the community for a long time until way later.
Yeah. Most of it's lost now, as far as I know. I might have an old hard drive, but I can't.
Yeah,
it's a pain in the ass to figure out how to get it to work again, because it's an old hard drive.
We do have one.
Just before this episode started to go live, we found one from Billy.
Yeah, these.
Make sure to mute it, because it is
Yeah,
copyrighted. You already did.
And you're like, your animations are actually really impressive for like way back then.
I tweened everything. Okay, you see all those limbs of the stick figures? Those are actually like shape-hinted shape tweens on like lines.
And you made it work, honestly. I mean, this is an old RSG versus Turquoise, right?
And all those very impressive like effects are like, I found a software called like Particle Illusion or something, and like rendered out like particle effects and stuff, and like the software let you export like alpha PNGs of some stuff. So I would just export that and bring it into Flash, and like use it that way. It's You notice I never really show a guy walking.
Yeah.
I do not know how to animate a walk cycle to this day. I always cut around it, torso up, whatever I can do.
Feeling. I know that feeling, dude.
You see those little legs going tweet underneath? That's because I don't know how to animate them touching the floor.
Yeah, which it made it unique though because you did a bunch of scene changes, and back then people would just side scroll for the most part.
Oh yeah, they would stick
zoomed
with
in and all. It was like whoa, you know.
Well,
but you're like,
I'm doing angles because I don't want to show the feet.
Exactly.
I mean, it worked, man. I mean,
it worked.
You actually beat Turquoise in this RSG, right?
I believe so, but also I think Turk might have been busy with something because his was very short.
Hey, that don't matter. Hey, you got the dub. You got the dub, man. And I think you were the only one for the longest time.
Yeah.
But that's not very well known nowadays. It's not very well known.
Even he knows.
Sorry,
short.
Yeah, so this is Turquoise's part, right?
Yeah, this is Turquoise's.
Damn, these are some ancient RHGs, guys. That's crazy. How old is this animation, would you say? Because this is like...
This one was uploaded 11 years ago, but I don't think that's accurate.
It's from like 2007 to 2009 range.
Yeah.
This is Shift Limit's time frame. You can tell by how close Turquoise's style here looks like it does in JCTLM.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 2007 or 2008 because by 2009 I think SL went down for a little bit and came back in 2010 for a little bit and then was gone again.
Yeah, so to put that in perspective, that's literally like 2 years before I even started animating. That's insane. That is insane.
Dang.
That is pretty wild.
Are there any other notable animations that you kind of want to highlight, or is that kind of the...
Oh boy, hold on. Let me check one of the only spots where I still have like anything up. Let me try to find my Newgrounds account.
Oh, we're digging deep now. The bowels of
One
Newgrounds.
second. Yes, I found one, but again, you're probably going to want to mute it.
Okay.
I'll put it in.
Can you even mute?
I can mute the
I mean, you can mute the browser, yeah.
Yeah.
Get it.
Oh, it's loading. Black.
It was based on a video game for the PS2.
Ooh,
But at this point, I was also working with 3D. Like that pistol is the 3D model I made, and
I remember this.
Really?
3D model weapons were big because people could download them as resources, and I remember most people don't know this, but Smosh, before they did any videos, was a very popular Flash website, and it's where a lot of people would download resource packs for traced weapons. Yeah, before they did their Pokemon video for YouTube, they were mainly a resource download website with Flash.
Dude, this animation's so good.
I didn't download these. The side views I traced off of images, and the 3D ones I actually modeled in software called Rhino 3D that I learned in high school.
Oh my!
That's more of a CAD software, mostly in the boat design industry. So it is not suited to making 3D models for this kind of stuff. And then I used something called Swift 3D Electric Rain to render them, and I rendered whole sequences like this. That's all 3D.
Wow,
yeah, that's crazy.
Insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it let you render them to vectors. And after Swift actually went out of business in mid 2010s, I think, when the Flash industry kind of dried up for a while because Apple and Adobe had their little piss fight. So there was no good way for the longest time to render to vector. I think there's plugins for Maya and stuff now.
I mean, it's kind of insane how you were figuring all this out way back then when the programs are so limited. I mean, you're using CAD software for boats, implementing them into Flash. I don't think anyone else is doing that kind of stuff.
It was
besides
everything
maybe...
I could. I was maximum effort to do the minimum effort on actually animating in Flash.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, the only person that I know that also did 3D back then was Zhao Zhao, like one of the later ones, right?
Oh yeah, that was definitely actually an inspiration. That I used to watch all of those. Oh no,
Yeah.
you're finding other stuff. Oh no.
What is this? What is that?
I don't know, but there's a good scene in this later.
No, just keep
There's
talking. I'll let it
actually
play.
there's an interesting spin scene that's just using tweens and layering. Oh, thank God there isn't audio on the watermark stock images. Oh,
Are these even stick figures? I don't even know.
No,
what characters these are.
I did all sorts of stuff. This was like 2008, 2009.
Wow.
Yeah, KKB helped with this.
No way.
Did
That's cool. What is?
It's
Yeah.
vaguely Madness Combat adjacent. It's weird and random. There is one interesting scene here
Oh, this is cool.
that the spin is actually kind of interesting. It's just
Yeah.
changing, masking the body so it rotates around and.
Oh man, this is definitely like the height of Flash animators.
Yeah, this really looks like that old.
But it was
This is
fun,
awesome.
dude.
This is
Yeah,
awesome.
like people were just making stuff and like no one knew what they're
Yeah.
doing, but they're just like having fun with it and just sharing. This is so fun back then, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you still animate today, like every once in a while, or are you kind of like done?
Barely.
With that side of it?
Like the most
Yeah.
I've done is like a few things in 3D that aren't really I mean like the I work for Alan now. We haven't gotten to that part yet.
Yeah,
Mr.
you do.
Becky.
But I animated the glow squid for the caves episode. It was a
The glow squid?
yeah, it's Alan Becker, the Minecraft stuff.
Yeah, Glow Squid is a Minecraft mob. It's like a squid, but it glows.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's just very simple. It pulses the tentacles in, moves forward, and then moves them out and spins. I did do some kind of almost pre-viz. I don't know what you'd call it, because they for the recent episode, what was that called? Bed Wars?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did do some of one segment, but it got touched up by like an actual professional in Blender because I don't fully know Blender. I knew a lot more about 3ds Max and other softwares I'd used before, so I was kind of learning a lot of it as I go. But I think I did okay.
I see. And is that just like something you volunteered to do, like when it's available?
It's often when it's either all hands on deck or we don't have anyone else for it, because this was they basically had me help because I knew some 3D stuff, and then they Hatena actually I think found like 3 or 4 different people who all like knew 3D stuff well enough. But like all the Minecraft characters in this, for the most part, those are actually animated in 3D.
Well, yeah,
And then,
sometimes.
Overlaid. Sometimes they were captures
They're
from like a
physically- yeah,
Minecraft
they're-
session.
Yeah, they're from like Minecraft replay files.
Yeah, but I'd say at least like half of it was basically hand animated, kind of using the same setup they had in the replay files, using NLA tracks or whatever it was called.
Anything like this scene where it's heavily choreographed, it's mostly hand animated in 3D.
Sheesh, that's crazy. So you mostly do sound work for Alan then?
Yeah, and also a lot of editing. Just like updating files every day, so that way we know what condition the whole project is in for certain stuff.
So, like, what do you think you do now comparatively compared to back then, as a sound guru per se?
I don't understand the question.
Like, are you kind of making sounds from scratch?
Oh yeah,
as
a lot
like a
more.
sound effects kind of thing.
Oh, a lot more. I started. Oh yeah, there's kind of a weird gap we actually haven't talked about. So I worked with a bunch of mobile game stuff.
Okay.
From like, so I went from Shift Limits. Shift Limits kind of closed down. I kind of floated between the Shift Limits internet relay chat kind of stayed open though. So I was on that for a lot and kind of also checked in with Fluid Anims and some other sites.
Yeah.
But then more and more people started getting into like making games in Flash. So I was helping with like sounds or like little background music tracks for that. And that kind of transitioned into mobile game stuff, which I kind of freelanced and did some stuff for a number of years. Like a lot of the Clear Vision mobile games I worked on.
Oh yeah. That's the one that Endo and Mikkel worked on, right?
Yep. Yeah. I think by the time I was there, it was mostly Endo though, because the Clear Vision 2 mobile app, not the Clear Vision 2 Flash one, those are different, I think. I did like almost all the cutscene kind of sound stuff, and then Clear Vision 3, I did all the cutscenes, or at least most of them. But I also did a lot of music for some scenes. Or no, I did music for a couple scenes. Clear Vision Classic, I did most of the cutscenes and music in the cutscenes for. But
Clear Vision Classic, dude. Classic game.
But the music was kind of had like a was it ring fingers or something like that, kind of like sort of not punk, but like R&B, kind of like those beats you'd find on like Flash Kit back in the day that were like do 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 do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Flash Kit. I used to use that site a ton to find resources. Do you remember that?
Got it. Yeah, I do. I kind of remember that.
They had a ton of cool little music loops people would make in FL Studio and stuff.
And what kind of techniques do you use to make sounds? Because like for me, that's really foreign, because I'm just used to finding sound packs and stuff and then adjusting it that way. But what are kind of the steps that you take when you're creating a sound effect?
So many, like you can animate in so many different ways with different software.
Yeah.
Like you can record stuff, you can synthesize stuff with software, you can record stuff and then enhance it with like plugin effects. It's just a whole big, like, it depends on the sound. Like if it's a very like natural thing, you probably need to record or find a sample and layer it with other stuff and maybe some effects. But if it's something like a computer beeping kind of thing or something that has like a synthetic thing, you can normally just completely generate it using synths and other stuff.
Got it.
But yeah, I mean, I do most stuff just in Audacity.
Really?
It's
Audacity's the goat, dude.
It can do a lot.
I noticed Audacity started updating, which is really weird.
What?
It's been
no, dude, I swear Audacity was just sitting like in the same version for like the past like 10 years, and then all of a sudden it started making like huge updates.
They were all of a sudden. Like, what do you mean?
I mean, they did have a while around like 2.2 to 2.4 where it was like only like an update, like felt like every year or so.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't change for a very long time. And then I think just a couple of years ago. Oh, am I lagging?
The stream.
Oh yeah, yes.
Am I still able to be heard? Something happened there.
Everything's good.
Everything
is good.
Okay. Stream is now delayed. Well, I mean, our in-call thing is now delayed by like 3 seconds for me.
I can restart that, but keep going.
Okay. Oh no!
Oh my God!
Without the stream, I don't know what I'm saying.
I can't
Okay,
see
it's back.
my
It's back.
eyes.
It's back. It's okay.
Where are my eyes?
Okay.
Okay, my book
But
is still
yeah,
here.
so Audacity, they kind of did a push from like starting with version 3 to be a lot more. They did a whole bunch of stuff starting with like version 3 that's been kind of like modernization. I think they've been pushing like UI overhaul coming up or something. That might have already happened years ago though.
The biggest thing I noticed was that you didn't have to download a plugin to export as MP3s. Do you remember that?
That's because the Fairhausen or whatever, the German company that owns MP3 finally made it fully like free to license.
Yeah.
Oh my! They were gatekeeping MP3.
Money. They developed it. They wanted money.
Oh.
So you basically had to download like a third-party thing that was built as the thing that actually generates the MP3s. You had to download that separately because it was generated cleanly from other sources, or it was something like you couldn't just have it built in.
Yeah, and even if you did export as MP3, there'd be like a millisecond of space when the audio started, so it wasn't like timed perfectly.
You know what that is?
What was that? Like, what is that?
That's actually a problem in most MP3 decoders. It's the little bit at the start where that has the file header info, which tells it like how to decode the file. And I don't know if you've ever noticed, but inside Adobe Flash, if you make something MP3, they don't have that problem. They fixed the header decode issue.
That's
just
crazy.
For when you encode a wave into an MP3 format in Flash, it doesn't have that lag because it would mess up animation sync.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then Audacity updated it to fix that. There's like a little option to fix that. So yeah, Audacity is really good now and updated. And it's free. It's still free, right?
The only thing I miss with the modern like Audacity like V3 or whatever is they used to have this whole plugin suite called like the LADSPA plugins. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of really good effects in that, and it's like a little extra download, but like now it only like supports like VST and like some other type of effect.
Yeah. So
it doesn't support LADSPA plugins anymore. They're kind of depreciated, and there's some like they're one of the reverbs. G-Verb is like one of my favorite reverbs for Audacity, and there's like no equivalent now. It was part of the LAD SPA plugins that was only in like Audacity like 2.x.
Got it. Wow.
And I want to show you guys something funny. Have you ever seen the high contrast display? The theme?
No.
I think
it's
so.
Miserable.
Wait, did it have a dark theme?
Isn't it like kind of like a flashback? Oh yeah.
It's like that, yeah.
But the thing is, like, if you're visual impaired, this is probably a godsend for someone who, you know.
True.
I can see that.
Do they have a dark mode? Like a proper dark mode?
They do. I use it consistently. It's so good.
This is probably that UI overhaul they did years ago that I'm just now learning has already been in it for years because I've never messed with it.
They used
awesome.
to have a version where instead of blue, everything was orange, and I really liked that, and then they got rid of it, and now I'm sad.
Oh, damn.
But oh well, I'll cry.
Cool.
But yeah.
I love Audacity.
So after you did the commission work, working on the mobile games, when did you start doing, you said sound work with Alan?
Oh, that would have been 2019, 2020, right around the Piglin Wars episode, which was like episode...
That was episode 31? 30? Episode 30?
30, I think.
No, 30 is the king. That would have been 20 or 21.
No, it was 20 or 21 or something like that. Yeah, they put out like a post on their YouTube posts, and I just saw it, and I was like, hey, I've kind of been in that community before. Maybe I don't have any jobs with my other stuff right now. Why not? And yeah, it was I think 2 other people kind of popped in and joined for a little while too, Amir and Blue Waffles or something, but
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just me and Igor currently.
Yeah, you guys are killing it with the sounds.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, Igor has a much more professional workflow than me, I'm pretty sure, because like he actually like uses like a digital audio workstation like Reaper or something, and like it gets way more into like custom making every aspect of the sound. Like he'll try to make like electricity and thunder from like a synth stack, and I'm like,
yeah,
that's a lot of work, and like I know I get paid a lot, but like I don't want to like waste time when I have samples.
True. Yeah.
True.
I mean, like I usually just stack a bunch of sound effects together, and then either change the pitch a little bit, and that's like the extent of my knowledge of making sound effects.
Yeah.
But it works. It's really fun to do. It's like playing a little puzzle, you know.
Oh yeah. The other big thing so for the longest time we were just doing it like in Flash, all the audio.
Yeah.
Which we finally managed to move to Premiere, which is better because Flash audio is kind of a nightmare. You have to have like everything on its own little layer, and you want to do like you can't just do effects on stuff like you can in like an actual like video or audio editor. You have to pre-process everything. So like if we had a scene that had like suddenly we wanted to have reverb, we either had to wait and Alan would do that in post or something, or I'd make a reverb version of every footstep, everything, and just...
Oh, dear.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, one of the best things I think in Flash, though, is the audio envelope, or whatever it's called, the envelope editor for panning. If you figure out how that works, you can do some really great, just like immersive sound design just with that little envelope editor that has like the waveform, and like you draw like little lines that determine where it is between the left and right channel.
Oh yeah, the little box, like the little white box you can drag up and down.
Yeah, they actually finally fixed a bug that I reported because I was working with it so much. I used to have a bug where if you clicked and dragged and then like outside of the box and pressed another like right click or something, it would crash. It would crash. Whoa. It would draw little dots everywhere. And me and Igor kept having this issue for like a year, and I was like, you know what, I should probably tell Adobe about it, and they fixed it in a month. Like they're actually okay for some stuff. You know, not for much.
Yeah.
I kind of have a hate relationship with them now that
it's not love, hate, it's hate.
I have to use their stuff, like Adobe Premiere team projects, and they don't really care about Animate or Flash as much. It doesn't get as much new, interesting stuff. They just keep revising features they've already added and making it worse somehow.
Yeah.
I hate that about the new updates. It's just every update gets slower for some reason, and it's the same thing with like Premiere too.
Also, like even just with Flash, like they've like reworked how like the bone tool rigging stuff works like at least 4 times in different versions, and it's like I don't know too many people who use that, and just the setup for the rigging in it is not intuitive compared to like other software.
Yeah, we've tried to use the bone tool in some of Alan's work, and every time we use it we regret it, because we tend to work with people who use different versions of Animate, and because it changes so frequently it constantly breaks. It's just a major headache.
They were also pushing the like the 3D tool that let you like rotate planes in 3D.
Yeah, it's
and
just
it like
buggy.
caches them as bitmaps to do that, and they don't look good either if they're like on the side kind of coming at the camera versus just like manually, like how people like used to do it where they'd like skew like a big like thing and like kind of hand draw some details on it. It looked so much better that way.
I feel like some of these features are like ideas for people who are part of the board in some way that in theory in their mind like, yeah, everyone's gonna use this, it'll be great, and they just force their hand update after update after update to keep something in that a tiny fraction of people actively use in the software.
I think
or even care about it at all.
I theorize what the problem is that for Adobe Animate, whenever they do update, they have to have something that Adobe can advertise. So they end up installing or revising new features to make them quote unquote better, but they don't actually fix anything that they had previously broken, so they continue to break it just because they need to be able to market the software.
Yep. Because they're like, look, now we have the ability to do this. And just the thought process of that is, oh, okay, maybe I do get this update. Maybe it's going to be good. And that doesn't matter at that point. The sale is already, it's already made.
Yeah, but also
they didn't even update it for 2025. It's still on version 24.
No, they haven't yet. So they've gutted that team. I'm pretty sure they've moved them to other stuff and fired a bunch of people. I'm pretty sure for Animate, because it's just not. They know their user statistics, and like it's only like niche animation communities and a few corporate uses. It's not as much nearly as it used to be.
Yeah, I guarantee it'd be so much better if they just focused on fixing what they broke.
Yeah,
I wish they'd just make it open source and then just have other people take over it. But that's probably never going to happen, man.
No,
I mean, the best bet is sorry.
No, you go ahead.
There's an ongoing project to make kind of like an animation alternative to Flash that's open source. I can't remember what it was called.
I do remember.
Maybe.
No. It wasn't Wick. It was like a standalone. It was supposed to be a standalone program.
What was that called? I'm trying to think.
Wick Editor can now be standalone. They added an installer.
Oh yeah. I remember that. It wasn't Wick Editor though. It was it was something that was supposed to be like 1-to-1 with
Synfig, Pencil 2D. It might be Synfig. I kept thinking of Stencil, which was like a plug and play kind of game thing, but Synfig sounds familiar.
I've heard of Synfig before as well, but I don't know if that's it. I actually talked to the dude too, but I forgot his name.
Wow. Okay, so now you're a bad person.
OpenTunes. What is OpenTunes? This might be.
Oh, I think that's a Japanese open source program.
Yeah, it is open source. It is free.
I'm just searching for it, and I can't quite find the one I remember seeing.
Yeah, it's super niche, but I don't even know if that project is still ongoing.
But even with like Toon Boom and other ones, like nothing quite has the object library workflow the same way with Flash that I really like.
Yeah, that part of it is just so good, which is why I can't really use any other programs or Switch.
Yeah, once you get hooked on like dealing with graphic symbols and movie clips and like nesting them and doing like cool little masking effects that way, it's like I just want to do it that way.
Yep, it's just too good. It's too good. But the second there's another program that has like similar system like that, I'm switching like instantly from it.
Oh yeah, I think everyone would. One day, hopefully.
Yeah, one day.
But until then, we're stuck with a software that's probably never going to see another update. Yeah. All right. Well, next question. Hello?
It froze. Sorry. Everything on my screen froze. I was like, "What's happening?"
Okay.
The last thing I want to know, Pepper, is do you have any other hobbies? Like, sound is your job. Maybe you still do that as a hobby as well on the side. But do you have other hobbies?
Yeah. Okay. Vaguely threatening
All right.
response.
Well, next up.
No, I went to school for like 3D game design and game stuff, and I've always been meaning to mess around with that more, but I like playing them now. I like playing video games.
Yeah. You know what? Have you ever been interested in like those reload animation, 3D reload animations? Because those are so sick.
Yeah. One of the guys I subscribed to, I'm probably still subscribed to on YouTube, Hypermetal. I think he works for he worked for Titanfall, the Respawn. He got hired by them apparently, and then he went to Infinity Ward, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe it was it's one of the others. But he had all these silly reloads where like he'd like vomit up like the revolver bullets and then like put them into the revolver, or like he'd have like a giant Glock that like he's holding, and like it's like it's like the size of a minivan, but he's holding it.
Yeah.
But like people do a lot of like a lot of that. I used to be really into, like in the like mid 2010s of YouTube, was watching like people who made like custom reloads for like Counter-Strike Source, like animations and stuff like that. There was a big scene for animating they're called like view model weapons for that, because it's the one you see in the view, and there's actually a much lower quality model for the world when it's like dropped or like another player's holding it.
Yeah, I'd love reload animation. It was like one of the main reasons why I played Battlefield back in the day. Just they had such satisfying reloads. And then yeah, I still follow people that make 3D reloads, and it's just so cool. I think that's one of the reasons why I would probably want to get into 3D, is to make something like that.
Oh, I have an animation actually.
Yeah,
I knew it, dude. I knew it.
From a Flash game I was trying to make.
Okay.
I mean, I have like a Target trial version of it that apparently still works, but I haven't touched this since like 2015 or so. But this is just sound design, and I put it in the thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh. I'm getting shot.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
So here we go.
It's sound design and a bunch of 3D models and stuff. The audio is not copyrighted. It's my own stuff.
Dude. Yeah, these are so cool. I played a lot of Flash games like this too.
Yeah.
Where you just like click on stick figures and then
Yep. Yeah. Also, like 3D animated some like zombies that would like shuffle forward for something. Never really finished it. It's hard work.
Remember the I forgot what it was called. Was it the snowball collab? I made like a snow gun, and then I tried to do like a reload animation
With snow.
One second.
Dude, that was like when I was into it. Oh, that's funny.
I think it was like the first one too.
You've been uploading some stuff lately. I saw, Hyun.
Yeah, some old stuff. But yeah, this is like a reload attempt thing that I did. Has sound effects too.
Is the music copyrighted?
I don't think so. I don't know if it is.
Let's I can check real quick. Oh, there's a couple. We'll just keep them muted. Just
yeah, never mind.
No, you're supposed to be muted. Okay, we're good.
But yeah, I'm still kind of into reloads. I do still want to make like gun animations because they're pretty fun to animate.
Oh yeah, the other thing was I did a part for like was it like a Pokemon collab on Shift Limits or something, where I had the guy
I think I remember that.
pull out it looked like the shotgun from like Deus Ex Human Revolution, like the underbarrel rotary shotgun.
Was it the one with Ash?
Yeah, well, he was this blue stick figure with Ash's hat on.
Yeah, I remember that one. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it probably does not exist anymore.
I'm sure it's somewhere. Again, a lot of 3D and particle effects to not have to act. Oh, and I'm pretty sure I kind of traced the show for when Ash does his pose before he throws the ball. Like I drew the stick figure on top of the show.
Not my Pepper.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hey man, we were all just kids having fun back then.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Transition into our last couple segments.
Feature questions.
Yeah. So real quick before we get into the featured animation, right now in chat you can see a little question bubble just popped up. Feel free to ask any questions to anyone here, probably mostly Pepper, and then we will answer some of those questions. But while you're answering all those questions, we're going to take a look at another animation.
Yippee.
Let's see here. So this is a collaboration called the Alleyway joint. Hosted by, I don't know if it's hosted by Sharkcapp, but I think it's hosted by Sharkcapp. Okay, yeah, it is.
Oh.
Here we go. I'm not sure about Let me check. Can I play audio? I can. Okay.
No way.
Pause the music.
That's a rare one right there.
That is a rare one. Our community loves to use copyrighted music.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
The letter file sound effects.
I love those
Yeah.
little full screens.
Yeah.
Aren't those grunts from Call of Duty?
I love that those hit sound effects are basically like our sim speak for stick figures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, you mean the male A, male B, male C,
Yeah.
or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, those are from something I probably shouldn't have ever shared.
That's Modern Warfare, right?
No, it's pretty sure it's Tommy Tallarico's the SFX kit, disc 2.
Oh, dang.
Well,
This is sick.
this is clean.
Oh yeah, they've been doing a lot of stuff lately.
Look at. I like the hit
Wait,
effect.
who is this guy?
I don't know. They're not crediting them on
Yo!
screen.
Where's the name?
I would love to know who's doing these.
Yeah, these guys are really good.
They're credited in the description at least. So at least we can credit them. I just don't know who did what. But I'd love to know who did what. Okay, that's a personal grievance of mine for collabs, is when they don't tell you who did what.
Yeah.
I just want to know.
Use this stick figure as well. True. I think some people don't put it in because they think it might be distracting.
Yeah.
Are these
As a viewer, I'm
Super
not
Smash
animated,
Brothers
but I don't
sounds?
Yeah. Was it Brawl or no?
Oh!
I mean, they've been using the same sounds
whoa.
since like Brawl to Ultimate. A lot of the
Yeah.
hit sounds and stuff.
I know. They've just
Dude, this
they've
is
given them
insane.
minor changes, yeah.
Yeah, like who animated this? That's so good.
I don't know. I'd love to know. Let's see.
Crazy.
Sure, they'll credit them.
Okay.
Participants. Ooh.
Oh.
Okay. Sharkcapp,
okay.
Acely, MJ, Try, T-Bot, Azor. Oh, Azor's in this? Yo.
What the?
Oh, I think Grand Angel did the ending. And there's also Redact,
got
Nico,
it.
Anomalous, and Will Not Salty. Well, good job, everybody.
Very cool.
All right.
That was a nice, good old fashioned stick
Yeah.
figure collab, you know?
It was a very classic short collab.
It's classic.
Not high concept. It's just action. You gotta love it. All right. Well, let's head into the questions. Line these up for y'all.
Oh, by the
Okay,
way,
how
I know
is-
someone's saying Tommy Tallarico Wowie. Do not buy the Tommy Tallarico SFX kit. It is basically all his leftovers from like Xbox and PS2 era development. It is not good quality. It sounds like it's already been like converted to like 22 kilohertz. It was my first big sound purchase. Like cost me like $380. It was like a Christmas gift in like 2010. It was great at the time, had a ton of stuff, but does not stand the test of time. He basically dumped all his leftovers onto Sound Ideas, and it's kind of come out that Tallarico's kind of not a great guy, apparently. Kind of likes to take credit for stuff he didn't do.
Butthole.
A little bit. He likes to claim that he's the guy who did the Roblox sound.
What?
The oof.
Oh, interesting.
He's the oof kid?
No, he's actually
claims to be
not
the
cool.
kid.
Someone who like works for him made the oof, basically though, or something. It might have not even be that.
I like the oof.
All right. Well, we got a question from Spamus. Apologies if I butchered your name, but they want to know, Stone, about the onions. What's the onion update?
So I know you guys know, but
Yeah.
I've taken.
Of course we know.
I've got to the halfway point of an onion. I can't get the right onion to do the whole onion challenge. Yellow onions are a nightmare. And what I was finding is recently my diet has consisted of a lot of onions, and the hard thing to do is eating a raw whole onion after having onion for dinner or mixed in my dinner for 3 days in a row, and I couldn't escape the perpetual taste in my mouth. So I'm taking a break. I gotta get the right onions, and then I'm gonna continue and consume an entire raw onion. I will do it.
I do have some tips because I have some experience with onion eating now as well.
Okay.
And I noticed, right? You have to eat. Okay, so like you're supposed to eat the white onion because that's the least spicy, right?
Yeah.
But also, I tend to notice that the smaller white onions are sweeter, and eating like closer to the core of the onion is also less spicy and actually tastes pretty good raw.
Yeah, I've noticed. I thought I was just getting used to it, but maybe that makes more sense now. The outer layers are rough, and I'm using like grapefruit-sized Costco onions, so that's my other problem. Is like,
oh yeah,
it's rough trying to get through.
You gotta look for the small ones, I think.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
I don't know why we're getting so into this, but
hey, they want to know. They ask.
Yeah, man,
clearly the audience is interested.
All right, wait. I also have one. Wait, hold on. I have one more tip. If you want to eat the raw onion, you have to eat it with something very hearty and salty. I noticed.
Yeah.
Because if you're eating like a
challenge too,
I mean, I've just been eating it because I enjoy it.
Wait, so you already eat whole onions?
Well, I don't eat the whole onion. I kind of like I chop it into big chunks, and then I eat it alongside a hearty meal. Like
he wants to live forever too. I know. I understand.
But you just eat chunks of onion.
It's good, dude. I swear to God, if you eat it with like something salty, like I don't even know, like
it's not that weird. Like people eat hot dogs with like diced raw onions on it.
Yeah.
Well, that's normal.
Even with ramen or like pasta, it's really good. You should try it.
Yeah, we have a lot of pasta here, and I put onion and garlic in just about everything we make. So I have onion fatigue. But I stopped. I plateaued at half. It's so rough. At half, I don't know what it is. I have like a ceiling at half. I didn't get the right onion. That's where I'm at.
Anyways.
Gilded Guy says, "Hi Pepper, thank you for your legendary sound effects pack. My question is, what is your take on modern film / TV sound balancing, and why is it hard to hear dialogue these days?"
Ooh.
Is that true?
Yeah, I saw this conversation come to a head with was it like Tenet or something? That film, where like almost seemed like it was purposefully Chris Nolan's audio designers or whatever were like hiding the dialogue at times because they didn't deem it important, I guess.
Huh.
But it's also I think one of the things is you have to target a much wider range of devices, including smartphones, for content now, which don't always have the best speakers. I think it's also that the kind of the techniques used in design these days are often pushing like transients spikes a lot more in things. Like you have those like kind of like almost like first kind of I remember hearing them a lot in like Transformers where it's like tick, 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 and like you have like these loud kind of mid-high kind of like emphasis is like a I don't know if I'm getting this across, but that kind of stuff kind of I don't know, but even in not designed scenes you kind of see it. They used to. I feel like everyone's kind of moved towards overcomplicating and overemphasizing the sound when it used to be dialogue was all important, and like even if it was really unrealistic to be able to hear everyone clearly in a crowded restaurant, they would always like drop all the other tracks and punch up the vocals a little bit. Now, I definitely have noticed like crowded restaurant scenes in movies and TV where like it's actually sometimes kind of hard because they aren't dropping the background tracks and they aren't dropping all that. And I think it's kind of a focus on maybe realism, but it is weird.
I don't know. Maybe they're just not good at mastering in post anymore.
I think it's a style choice, and I think it's kind of like the thing that's in vogue now.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it might not just be that, though.
Like, that's the thing that I noticed. Like, I don't really like watching movies in theaters anymore because I just can't hear anybody talking. I just can't understand them.
They push the lows in theaters so much that it's basically like sitting in a massage chair on full.
Yeah.
Like, I can't make out like what people are saying when everything around me is rumbling slightly.
Do you have you guys watched the first Batman in theater with Bane?
No.
Oh, Dark Knight Rises was the one with Bane. Oh no, the original Bane, the Goofy Bane.
The Goofy Bane, that talked like, dude. I did not understand a single word coming out of his mouth. It was all just bass under my bum, and I was just sitting there, like flabbergasted because I couldn't understand anything.
You had a good butt massage though.
Oh man, that was crazy.
Okay.
But I'm kind of a little bit of an outsider. Like, I wasn't like professionally trained. I just kind of learned everything myself. So I don't quite know. I'm kind of guessing at that.
Yeah. We got $2 donation by Master Egg. Bro, Hyun show. I'm not gonna read that. I'm sorry.
Wait,
All right,
no, I
next
want to
question.
see it.
No, you don't have to read that.
I
It's
see.
fine.
No, I see.
I mean, he kind of already is.
That's true. I mean, they're right there for free.
All
Have at it.
Jilsd, I think is how you say that. They asked, do you have a large local library, or do you offload sounds from sound providers, SoundDog, Sonos, etc.?
Large local library. I literally have a thing plugged into my computer just to hold extra drives right here, and I can swap between them.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Just like a bunch of like laptop SSDs in this 4-dock bay, and I have others just sitting around on the counter next to it. I really need to back up more of it at some point and actually get like a NAS, network attached storage, to like make sure everything's fully backed up. But it's all, a lot of it is just either some of it like maybe a few gigabytes, no more than a few gigabytes because it records in high format, are like actual recordings I've done, but it's so much stuff from like, Sound Ideas, Hollywood Edge, Sonos especially, like their GDC. If you want a good like set of like great starting sounds, like Sonos has given away so much for like every year's game developer conference. So if you just search Sonos SONNISS GDC bundle, there's like 200 gigabytes more of stuff they've given away, and it's great. But yeah, you need the storage space, and you need to spend a long time downloading it all. But it's so much local stuff. But like, it's also nowadays when you buy stuff, it's also stored like on a cloud server, because like you buy from like Boom Library, Sonos, anyone, you download it as like a zip file now. Like it used to be, you actually like bought and they would mail you like CDs and DVDs and hard drives.
Whoa,
and I
that's
still have
crazy.
some of those binders. But nowadays it's all digital, so it's kind of both. It's, if I need to re-download it, I can, but I have it all locally.
Is this the link to the? Oops. I think this is the site for it. Okay, my Discord is frozen again. What is going on with Discord now?
I just see Hyun is typing.
Oh God. There it is. Is that it?
Probably, yeah. It looks like the link, but yeah, there is so much there. Like, it's a ton. I think I've only downloaded up to like 2019, and I've been meaning to download the rest of it. I didn't even know this.
Sorry, go ahead.
These are, so they're really high quality too. They're like either like 96 kilohertz or 192 kilohertz. So they're very large files. And it's basically a selection of like a little bit of like different packs that people have put out to sell through Sonos. And also Sonos does pretty good deals sometimes. And it's people selling good stock audio they've recorded. I bought stuff.
Very nice.
Cool. I'm actually gonna look into this later.
Yeah.
question back up. Little fun one. Cupcake Edic Stars ask, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? Mint chocolate chip. Hello?
Cream. Oh, yeah.
You can't
are we supposed to?
Yeah, everyone.
Those are the most awkward
Was I supposed
times.
to respond?
Yes, respond. Don't leave me in the dark.
No, we're in the library. We're good.
I really like green tea ice cream once in a while. That hits really good.
Oh,
Green tea, sophisticated.
haven't
Very
heard of
nice.
that one.
Savory.
I like vanilla bean.
Good one.
Okay.
It's like vanilla, but it has black stuff in it. And it makes you think
It's like
they're
vanilla,
bugs.
but it's like bean.
Yeah.
Loonsar.
Top two has to be mint chocolate chip and cookies and cream, but I will go for some vanilla with some toppings.
Sick.
Damn.
Another mint chocolate chips. Am I the only
chocolate
one?
chip?
Okay, no, I see some in
That
chat.
just tastes like toothpaste, man.
Yeah, dude.
No, it
doesn't.
doesn't.
Stop it.
What
You
kind
just
of
stop
toothpaste
right there.
do you eat? Like, you don't eat toothpaste.
Mint.
It tastes like
It's
mint.
mint,
Stone,
and
you're
it
a little
has the
quiet.
same texture, right? And it just tastes like freaking toothpaste.
It does not
Oh
have the
my
same
God.
texture. It has the opposite texture.
It is literally one is. Never mind. Let's move on.
Mint
Let's
chocolate
move
chip's the best,
on.
and we're not ready for that conversation yet.
Wait, you know what's the worst flavor though? Is freaking sea salt ice cream. What is it? So
Never had it.
gross.
Pistachio.
All right. That green alien asks, how do you feel when you recognize a resource you're familiar with in popular media, such as any of the video co-pilot stuff like Action Essentials 2, Optical Flavors, etc.?
It can work if you're going for like almost like the Freddie Wong kind of like cheesy approach sometimes. Like, not to say Freddie Wong is cheesy, but like his early stuff.
I love Freddie Wong's early stuff. So
yeah. But even like with sounds, like if I bring it back to games and like a good example, like BioShock has really good sound design, but almost all of it is built on like classic stock audio from like the 70s and 80s.
Wow.
Like, you know, like the BioShock vending machine, like the chink
Dude, I
does, like,
love that sound.
that's a stock sound, I'm pretty sure. There's so many like classic stock sounds like just littered throughout BioShock, and it really helps with the kind of like timeless feel they were going for. So if you can use like resources like that, it's like there's ways to use them really well. There's also ways to use them where it seems very amateurish if it doesn't fit the theme and the tone.
Yeah. Just have fun with it.
All right.
I mean, you saw in my animations that were just nonstop like resource abuse just from everywhere.
Right Guy 25 asks, what do you all think is the most overused sound effect?
Wilhelm scream.
But that's like a bit. That's like a bit.
That doesn't get used actually that much. I mean,
I think I can't get away from it.
it's just the way they use it is so obvious. It's probably like some old like bird tweeting ambience that just gets used everywhere, honestly. And you never notice because it's so incidental and layered with other stuff.
I mean, I can't think of any that I think are overused, but I can think of sounds that I just don't like. But like,
Dude,
that's different.
In the old days within our community, this was the most popular one right here. Hold on, let me paste it in.
Oh boy.
This sound right here. This is
it-
the classic stick figure
Is it
sound
what-
right here.
Is it the?
Oh, it's the yeah.
Oh, do you have the version where it's like
Oh yeah, no, I have those. I have those. Oh, we keep talking about those.
Oh,
yeah, they're there's also like a series of hits that have like this kind of like glassy blood sound to them.
Yes.
That used to hear a lot.
I remember.
It's a
I know what
scream
you're
with
talking
like
about.
glass crunching with a pierce through it.
I'm pretty sure that's from the original, like it's modified off of a sound from like Day of Defeat, the original mod version of it or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure also like you hear like the sounds where they have like the loud bullet impact and then the scream. Those are based off like Medal of Honor Allied Assault or something had like bullet
Wow.
impacts that are those, and like someone like mixed screams with them and put them out in a sound pack. There's a guy called went by Justin on Shift Limits, who I remember always gave out that pack. I don't remember where he got it from originally, but I'm pretty sure it was also like floating around on like the RHA forums back before that.
Wait.
too.
I haven't. This one, right? Like this sound effect right here.
Yeah, that's got the glassy stuff.
Yeah. I still use those, dude. I still use them.
Yeah, they're good.
They're so good.
All right. Akidox asks, what's your favorite sound effect, specifically to Pepper?
Gunshots.
Question.
Yeah.
They're so fun to design, like even like sci-fi weapons and other stuff. Like there's like, you both have like the reverb, and then you also have like the complicated like mechanical aspect of it. They're just fun.
Okay. Random Peruvian asks for Pepper, what video games do you like? What gender of games do you prefer?
What?
I'm just reading what I see, man.
All right. I don't know what gender Metal Gear Solid is. It might be gender fluid. Those games always have a lot of just like interesting, like sort of like almost crossing the lines of like there's a lot of fan art of. I'm just gonna stop with that. But I always like Metal Gear Solid. It was a big game growing up, and like I even like Twin Snakes. It's like an alternate take on the original. So I just recently finally beat Death Stranding, which I really bounced off of hard at first because it's not paced well. It's a very slow burn game, but it gets insane in the middle, and then Kojima just has a lot of fun with stupid stuff at the end. Yeah, I played that because I'm looking forward to Death Stranding 2, which is apparently a lot more action focused. But I'm mostly more of a single player gamer. Like I like little immersive, like BioShock was a game I was really, really liked for a while. I think I've played through the original BioShock like fully, like at least 2-3 dozen times.
I still gotta finish BioShock. That game scared me as a kid.
The one I can't play, System Shock 2. That one is scary.
System Shock.
You want to talk about a game with good audio design? The System Shock 2 has like just the sounds of like all the different creatures and like the robots and the many or whatever they're called. I can't beat that game. It's too good audio. It's too creepy. That game came out in like 99 or 2000. It was really ahead of its time for audio work.
Yeah.
All right, we'll end it off on this last question. Ko asked, Hyun new tutorials when?
Soon, very soon. I know I keep saying that, but I will soon.
Perpetually soon.
I did ask like a couple of weeks ago what people wanted to see, so
Hey, there you go.
start ranting this week.
All right, well, I think we'll go ahead and end it there. Thank you, Pepper, for joining us.
Yeah.
If you were to rate this experience on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate it and why?
I don't know. Six.
Feedback survey at the end of the call.
Yeah, it was just like a long Discord convo. Hey, was
that D-?
Was this live on the internet? You have to tell me if it was live on the internet.
Yeah, it's live.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! What did I say? What did I say? What did I say?
Just a couple of slurs, but it's okay. We'll edit. Oh,
no!
All right, Stun, you want to see us out?
Yes. Who do we have next week, by the way?
No one next week. It's just the four of us. Lunsar.
Just
Right.
the 3
Okay. Well,
stages.
you guys, you know what it is. Please leave a comment on something you'd like to remember from this episode, and join us next week with someone or nobody for episode 47.
Hitman
Yep.
47.
Yeah. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Bye.
I love you
Bye-bye.
all.
Dude, I feel like we've been doing a Dojocast like every day. It feels like it.
Oh, this week has been exhausting. Yeah.
Holy.